Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Follow the White Rabbit. I'm Lindsay. Wanted to show you guys the second group that I am participating in Tiffany's die cut group swap. She needed a couple more people just to fill out the groups because she likes to do groups of 4. So I said, yeah, no problem, I can do a second group. It was not a big deal. I was already done with my first group, so I went with this. I said, no problem, I can do another one. So I did it a little different. So let's get right into this. So I did personalize a little bit just with an initial, but I had the Scrabble tiles, which I took a sanding block to just to soften the edges a little bit. I just didn't want it so squared. And I actually liked the way that looked. I made this little tag with my personalized Follow the White Rabbit stamp. This stamp, I like the stamp, but I find stamping it with ink is not as good. I like it better with the heat embossing powders. So that's what I used here. And I used I think it's the champagne one. So it's not quite gold, it's not quite silver, it's a nice muted color. And I just also heat embossed group 1 for that. So let's get into this. I used some more of that wide lace and some of that green leaf ribbon trim. Don't even know what you really want to call it. And I just tied it lightly. I didn't over tie it so that you could untie it pretty easily and reuse it. So that's basically what I did there. So I decided to make a clipboard. So I used some chipboard, which is actually shoebox lid. Covered it in white paper and then used some pattern paper on the back and on the front. Used just this nice wood grain. I don't remember what paper pack this is, to be honest with you. I know it's one of the Recollections packs from Michael's, but could not tell you what this one was called. Not a clue. And I just used cellophane bags to store the die cuts in. And I just used little clothespins with some of these. These are the Tim Holtz flowers and some like hemp twine in behind them, just to hold it all together like a little clipboard, and the clipboard can be reused. Excuse me. So yeah, these can just unclip, and now you have a cute little clipboard that can be used on your desk or hang something from, whatever you want to do. So let's get into the die cuts. So I did a bird theme. And I just made some real simple bag toppers, really from the scraps that I had from making the clipboards. And I just used a little washi tape because the paper did crack at the top a little bit. So I just used washi tape to cover that. Just something in the theme, something in the color pattern. And what I did for the die cuts is I used my Cricut. So I don't have necessarily file names or anything because some of them I just use just Google like free silhouettes of whatever, like bird, and they're just silhouetted birds. And then I use the print and cut feature on the Cricut minus the print, just the cut feature. So I cut 2 in pattern paper, 2 in white, so that they can be layered, or you can just use white, or you can just use pattern paper. So I thought that was a good way. I like doing it that way for simplicity. So those are little birds on a twig. Then this is just a little landed bird. So he came out kind of cute. We had to do 20 die cuts, so 4 of each of at least 5 patterns. And I did a hummingbird, again 4, 2 pattern, 2 white. And I did a flying bird, so I did 2 birds in flight, 2 landed, 2 standing. And same deal there. And then little bird cages. So I thought that was a good idea. Again, just use some washi and some of the scraps that I had. That's why they're kind of narrow, but it was fine for the way I was going to clip them in there. That worked for me. We also had to do cards, 3x3 St. Patrick's Day cards. I will open this because they're all a little different. And I did some envelopes real quick. So this one I just used, again, it was a Recollections paper, but I think it's like the mermaid and unicorn paper pack. Again, I don't know the name of it, but the rainbows I liked, you know, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow kind of deal. And it wasn't a lot of green. It was only a little bit of green in the rainbow and in some of the stars. And I forget what this washi tape says. Something about spread kindness around like confetti, I think is what it says. So it's just a very light, it's almost clear washi in silver. But I thought that was cute, just to add a little something. With this Lucky, I cut out, printed and cut off my Cricut. And I just used some green washi on the sides here. And heat embossed Happy St. Patrick's Day. Again, just using that champagne color. It's nice and muted, but there's still room to write a little note. So that was the Lucky. That's the Lucky coin. This is a cauldron. Well, I guess technically it is, but it's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And this Lucky horseshoe with a shamrock. Same. So yeah, so those are the 3 of those. And then I did some goodies, which I do have to explain a little bit. Not explain, but say one extra thing about the goodies, and hopefully I'll get them in time. But again, just used scraps that I had and some washi, because sometimes that paper does crack. But I gave some more of that lace, some more of the trim, and then this is very wide commercial adhesive tape. Where my sister works, they were throwing it out. It was a bad roll. I know they had gotten rid of all the machines, and it's a big, huge roll. I mean, it's big. It's heavy. This thing probably weighs a good 15 pounds. It's pretty heavy. But it was some kind of manufacturing thing that they did, but the roll got messed up, so it couldn't fit into the machine, so it was going to get chucked, and my sister was like, oh no, I know somebody that can use that double-sided adhesive, so she sent it to us, and I just used a piece of cardstock, again, scrap piece that I had left over from cutting out the die cuts, and I just wrapped quite a bit around there, so to give quite a bit, but it's nice and wide. I think it's not quite... it's just under 2 inches wide, so it makes it nice for matting. Now, speaking of matting, the other thing I want to give, I ordered them off of Amazon. I'm hoping they come soon, but I ordered these. It's actually a squeegee. It's hard plastic, and it's for, it's great for when you cut vinyl from your Cricut machines or any of your cutting machines, to put, like, your transfer tapes on and then to press it onto your project. It's nice and wide. It's got a good edge on it that's not too sharp or anything that's going to cut it, but you can really get good pressure on there, nice even pressure. They use it for window tinting, that kind of thing. It's double-sided, doesn't matter which side you grab. But I also like it for when I'm matting, like on the backs of the tags. Even when I was putting these tags to stiffen them, I was layering the tags. It's great for just pushing. It's nice and wide. You can kind of do it real quick. Even when I put on these little printouts that I put about the dies, which the dies I didn't use, but the print, how I did it, you know, you just press it on real well. It makes a nice flat adhesion. Also, when I was doing the washi taping, I could lay my washi tape, burnish it down real quick, put this on the edge, and then just rip it, and you get a nice clean edge. Ripped off without having to pick up scissors, put your fingers in the scissors, clip it, put the scissors down. It was just all in kind of one, put that down, go to the next one. So it makes it a little faster. So I ordered, they were inexpensive, so I ordered a bunch off of Amazon, but of course they weren't on Prime. So I'm hoping they come before I have to mail out the swap. They should, but if for some reason they don't come right, you know, before I have to mail it out, if they come within a reasonable amount of time, I might just mail them to Tiffany separate and ask her to put them into add them to my goodie swap. She can just put it into the big cellophane bag that I put the whole thing in. She doesn't have to tear the whole things apart. But I just thought that might be a cool goodie for everybody, because not everybody, you know, would think of using that, and I really like using it. So I thought I would gift those out. And that's about it, guys. That was everything. That's my die cuts. That's my packaging. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Have a good day.